Welcome to the Technical Writing Success Podcast. This is episode 148. I'm Fred.
And I'm Daphne. Hello, everyone. Today, we're actually taking a step back from technical writing and documentation. We're going to discuss the evolution of the holiday Halloween.
Yeah, it's quite a story.
It's a 2,000-year history that is somewhat mind-blowing when you dig into it.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at a holiday that manages to blend, ancient pagan rituals, medieval Christian observances, 19th century immigrant traditions, and then slam into 20th century commercialism. It's kind of amazing.
It really is, and that's the tension, isn't it? These curious contradictions. It's playful fear, but also like this multi-billion-dollar thing now. So our mission today for you is to trace that journey. How did pagan beliefs, Christian dogma, immigration, and then just sheer commercial power merge?
Yeah. How did we get here from there?
Exactly. So where do we start?
Way back.
Way, way back, over 2,000 years ago. We need to talk about the ancient Celts. So think Ireland, Scotland, that part of the world.
Okay.
Their whole lives, their calendar, it revolved around the seasons. And this specific time, the end of October, was huge for them. It marked the shift from the light half of the year.
The harvest, summer.
Exactly, the harvest time abundance into the dark half, winter. Which meant, scarcity, cold, even death. It was a serious transition.
So like their New Year's Eve, marking that big change.
Pretty much, yeah. They called the festival Samhain. And the core belief, the really crucial part, was that on the night of October 31st, the boundary, the veil between the living world and the spirit world, it got super thin.
Thin enough to cross.
That was the belief. Maybe it even disappeared for that one night, so spirits could cross over.
Okay, so not just friendly ancestor spirits popping by for a visit.
Well, maybe them too, hopefully. But also potentially other things. Malevolent spirits, fairies who weren't always the cute Tinkerbell type, mind you, mischievous entities, things that could cause trouble.
Yeah, real fear involved, not just fun scares.
Definitely real fear. So they had to manage this. The druids, their priests, they led the rituals.
And those rituals were pretty intense from what I understand. Not like our parties today.
Not at all. Think massive, sacred bonfires, huge flames, sometimes called bone fires because, well, animal bones from sacrifices were often thrown in.
Wow. Oh.
These fires were for protection, for purification, trying to appease the gods, maybe scare away the bad spirits, and ensure the sun would eventually come back after winter.
And this is where costumes first come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for a totally different reason than why we wear them.
Exactly. This is key. People wore costumes, often made from animal heads and skins. Sounds pretty gruesome, maybe.
Yeah.
But the purpose was specific, to disguise themselves, to hide from those malevolent spirits.
So blend in, or maybe look scary themselves.
Probably a bit of both. The idea was definitely not to be recognized, to avoid attracting unwanted attention from the other side, protection, avoidance. That was the original point of a Halloween costume.
Okay, so you have this really powerful, ancient, pagan festival rooted in fear and the supernatural. Then Christianity starts spreading across Europe. What happens when it runs into Samhain?
Well, the church had a strategy for this kind of thing. They'd encountered strong local traditions before. Simply banning them often didn't work. It just drove them underground.
So they adapted.
They absorbed, or you could say co-opted. They tried to overlay Christian meanings onto existing pagan dates and practices. It was pretty clever strategically.
And there was a key move with Pope Gregory III.
Yes, in the 8th century. This was a big one. There was already a Christian feast day called All Saints' Day, honoring martyrs and saints. It used to be in May.
Okay.
Pope Gregory III moved it deliberately to November 1st, right on top of Samhain.
Direct competition, or replacement, rather.
Exactly. An attempt to sort of, spiritually overwrite the pagan festival with a Christian one.
And that decision actually gave us the name Halloween.
It did. November 1st became All Hallows Day. Hallow just means holy or saint.
Right.
So the night before, October 31st, was the eve of All Hallows Day. All Hallows Eve.
Which just got shortened over time.
Yep. Slurred together, contracted. Halloween.
They didn't stop there, right? They added another day.
Correct. They created a 3-day observance called All Hallowtide. So you had All Hallows Eve on October 1st, All Saints Day on November 1st, and then they added All Souls Day on November 2nd.
What was that one for?
That was for praying for the souls of all the ordinary faithful who had died. So the whole period took on this theme of remembering and honoring the dead, which kind of echoed the Samhain focus on ancestors.
So they successfully Christianized the theme, but did the old ways just disappear? The costumes, the mischief.
Not entirely. That's a fascinating part. The official religious layer was there, but the folk traditions, the bonfires, the dressing up, maybe some pranks, they kind of persisted underneath. Never fully went away.
Okay, so these persistent folk traditions then travel across the ocean.
Exactly. Fast forward to the 19th century. Huge waves of immigrants coming to North America, especially from Ireland and Scotland, many fleeing the potato famine.
And they brought their traditions with them.
They brought what they remembered, and one key tradition was something called guising.
Guising, is that like early trick-or-treating?
Sort of, but a bit different. Kids, or sometimes poorer adults, would dress up in costumes, guises, and go door to door.
Okay.
But they usually had to do something, perform a little poem, sing a song, tell a joke, maybe do a little trick or stunt.
Ah, so you had to earn your treat.
Right, and the treat wasn't usually candy back then. More likely fruit, nuts, maybe small coins, little kicks. It was partly entertainment, partly a form of asking for charity.
But somehow that tradition morphed into something less charming in America.
Oh, yeah. By the early 20th century, say the 1920s, 1930s, things had gotten out of hand in many cities. The trick part started to dominate.
I mean pranks.
And worse. It became known as Mischief Night in some places. We're talking serious vandalism. Soap on windows was maybe the mild end. Tipping over outhouses,
Oh dear.
letting air out of tires, moving gates, petty theft, sometimes even small fires. It became a real problem for communities. Halloween was getting a reputation for, frankly, juvenile delinquency.
So what did towns do? You can't just cancel Halloween?
No, it was too popular, so they had to figure out how to manage it, tame it, really. And the solution was quite ingenious. Community leaders, town councils, schools, they started organizing official structured events.
Like parades and parties.
Exactly. Halloween parades, costume contests in schools, town square parties. The idea was to channel all that youthful energy away from random destruction and into supervised fun activities. Redirect the chaos.
Trying to make it more family-friendly, less destructive.
Precisely. And it largely worked. It set the stage for the next big evolution.
Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the Technical Writing Success Podcast. We were just talking about how communities in the early 20th century tried to tame Halloween mischief by organizing events.
Right. And around that same time, in the 1930s, we see the first printed appearances of a very specific phrase.
Don't tell me.
Trick or treat.
There it is, the magic words.
And it's brilliant, really. Someone described it as polite extortion, which sounds about right.
Explain that.
Well, it basically formalized the deal. The kids show up, they say the phrase, it means give us a treat. The implied threat is, or we will perform a trick on you, a prank.
So the homeowner gives the treat to avoid the trick. You're buying protection, essentially.
Exactly. A small bribe, a piece of fruit, maybe later candy to prevent your windows getting soaked or your garbage cans getting knocked over. It shifted the peacekeeping responsibility from the town council to every individual household.
Clever. Okay, so trick-or-treat is established by the 30s. But then World War II happens? Did that pause things?
It did, somewhat. Sugar rationing during the war definitely put a damper on the treat part for a few years.
Ah, makes sense.
But after the war, boom. Everything aligned for Halloween to become the massive commercial holiday we know.
What were the key factors?
Three main things, really. First, the baby boom. Suddenly, millions and millions of kids. A huge built-in audience for trick-or-treating.
Right. More kids, more demand.
Second, suburbanization. Families moving out of cities into sprawling suburbs with houses close together, sidewalks. Perfect territory for kids to go door to door safely.
The ideal landscape for it.
And third, television. TV helped standardize the holiday, showing idealized versions of Halloween celebrations across the country. Everyone saw what Halloween was supposed to look like.
And this is when candy companies really jump in.
Oh, absolutely. They saw the potential. Before the 50s, treats were often homemade or apples, nuts. But candy companies started mass-producing small, cheap, individually wrapped candies.
Why individually wrapped?
Safer or perceived as safer, easier to hand out. No worries about unwrapped food or, the urban legends about poison apples. Plus, convenient for parents. It just took over. Candy became the official currency of trick-or-treating.
The costumes changed too, right. Moved away from the original disguise idea.
Completely. Mass production hit costumes hard. Forget animal skins. Now it was plastic masks, cheap synthetic fabrics, and the purpose shifted.
How so?
It wasn't about hiding from spirits anymore. It was about impersonation. You wanted to be Superman or a princess or a ghost or whatever cartoon character was popular. It became about being seen, about recognition.
From hiding to showing off, basically.
Pretty much a total reversal from the Samhain roots.
So the holiday gets refocused almost entirely on children through the 50s, 60s, 70s. But the story doesn't end there because the baby boomers grew up.
Exactly. And they didn't want to give up Halloween. As that generation reached adulthood in the 70s and 80s, they kept the party going.
The adult Halloween parties.
Massive ones. Costume parties, parades, big public events, haunted houses as major attractions. So while trick-or-treating continued for kids, adults sort of reclaimed the costuming and celebrating part for themselves.
Leading to the kind of dual holiday we have now. Kids get the candy, adults get the parties.
Right. It has these two identities coexisting.
So looking back over the whole 2,000 years, it's quite the transformation.
It really is. It started as this sacred, terrifying night where people put on costumes literally to hide from spirits. And it's evolved into this largely secular, massive commercial bash where people put on costumes precisely to be seen by everyone. It's come full circle in a way, but ended up in a completely different place.
That shift from hiding to being seen is profound.
One thing that really stands out to me, thinking about the whole span, is the role of food or treats. It's always been transactional.
I mean,
Well, think about Samhain. Food crops, animals, was a serious sacrifice to the gods, burned in bonfires, a high-stakes offering for survival. Then with guising, food or money was exchanged for a performance, a small payment for entertainment or charity.
Right.
And now, today, it's often a tiny, mass-produced candy bar. What's it exchanged for? Compliance. It's the payment you make to buy social peace to prevent the trick. From a sacred offering to a miniature chocolate bar used as a social truce payment. The scale changed, the object changed, but the idea of food as this required offering, that's been a constant thread for 2 millennia.
that's a fantastic point. The evolution of the offering itself tells a story. From sacred sacrifice to, well, a fun-sized Snickers bar as a peace treaty.
It pretty much sums it up.
That's a great thought to leave you all with. The ancient sacrifice versus the modern candy bribe.
Thank you for listening to the Technical Writing Success Podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next week.